Hey you guys, what's up? It is Mossy from Pro Game Academy here to talk about, well, a lot of things actually, but first off, we're going to be covering what happened in the MSI 2021 group stage. Last week, we made some predictions, we talked about things a little bit, we put our player rankings and subsequently, like, team rankings, basically. Um, leading up with the information that we had. I think that video was posted on the 7th, so I did want to take a look and just kind of let you guys know, obviously, how group stage is shaked out, what teams made it out. If we're looking at Group A, for example, we can start there. Group A was the group with only 3 teams because of the COVID issue, where one of the teams couldn't make it. But we had RNG, Pentanet GG, and Unicorns of Love. So I think anyone could look at this group and think like, okay, like this is a toss-up probably between Unicorns of Love and Pentanet GG. If you look at the records, RNG ended up going 8-0 in that group, and Pentanet GG and Unicorns of Love both went 2-6. So they actually ended up playing a tiebreaker, and Pentanet GG and made it out of that group. Moving onwards though to Group B, this one a little bit harder to tell, but yeah, Mad Lions, PSG Town, Pain Gaming, and the Istanbul Wildcats in that order. So we can see Mad Lions and PSG both made it out. Mad Lions went 5-1, PSG went 4-2, Pain Gaming went 2-4, and the Wildcats went 1-5. So no need for tiebreakers there, just kind of, simplistic, kind of made sense. I will say, like, I'm feeling a little bit proud because I looked into Pain Gaming a little bit before the tournament with the first power rankings, the not so in-depth one, and I thought Pain Gaming had some potential. Unfortunately, they didn't make it out of groups, but I think that they did give us some decent games. I mean, they at least beat the Wildcats, and I think they put up competitive performances in some of their other matches. Either way, though, I think that this made sense. Mad Lions and PSG Town were easily the stronger teams in this group. Moving on to Group C, though, this is kind of the one that was really throwing me for a loop. When we posted our video, C9 was actually 0-2, and they were at the bottom of the group, but they were able to kind of pick up their record, so they went from being 0-2 to 4-0, I think, if I'm looking at the records here correctly. Yeah. So in this group, Group C, Damwon Gaming went 5-1, Cloud9 went 4-2, DFM went 2-4, and then Infinity Esports went 1-5. So again, kind of simple in terms of, easy to understand. There's no real, I don't want to say there's no real competition there, but, things weren't so, like, there was no need for tiebreakers or anything like that. C9 really scared us all, and then they were able to kind of pick up their groove going into the end of that group stage, or going into the second half, rather. Now, if you guys were not aware, the teams that made it out of the group stage move on to the Rumble stage, which is almost like a second group stage between all the teams that made it. There's only 6 teams in the Rumble stage, and the top 4 teams advance to the knockout stage, which is, I think, like the BO5s or whatever, because all of these matches are BO1. So it's a really, really interesting format this time around at MSI, and I'm curious to see, obviously all the teams, I think, in the Rumble stage play each other twice, so it's going to be a lot of games, and then on the 18th, May 18th is the last day, that's day 5 of the Rumble stage, so we'll know who's going to the knockout stage and playing best of 5s on May 18th, basically. Now, I did want to get into the Rumble stage, look at some of the teams, look at some of the matchups, and some of the matches, how the outcomes have come so far. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at all that stuff. Give me 1 second. Alright, so after day 1, which was today, we can see that Mad Lions and RNG are at the top. Damwon and PSG are actually in the middle right now, which is a little surprising, and Cloud9/Pentanet Gaming are at the bottom. I'd say that these are not the results that most people were expecting. Damwon haven't looked like they're in their best form right now, and RNG do look a little bit better, but it's surprising that they've already dropped a game at this stage. That being said, Damwon fans should keep in mind that this Rumble stage is pretty long, and this format gives teams a lot of time to adjust their strategies and sort of move on. It's also a little surprising to me right now that C9 is 0-2. They did play two tough teams, Mad Lions and RNG, but they were on a little bit of a roll towards the end of group stage, so it feels like they lost all of this momentum. Looking at some of these other teams, obviously PSG Talon is in the middle spot right now at 1-1. I think PSG Talon do sort of have to. I think that they can be happy with this result for now. They dropped the game to Damwon, which should be somewhat expected. But in the future, you know, like you need every single win that you can get at this stage. So, like, it's great that they beat Pentanet, but Pentanet is the team that basically everyone should be beating. So PSG Talon are really going to have to study their opponents and do their best to come up with some new strategies or think about the games a little bit differently, I think. Then obviously we come to Pentanet GG. If you were a Pentanet fan, I would not get your hopes up super high here for them leaving the Rumble stage and moving on to the Knockout stage. Maybe they can provide an upset or two, and maybe they'll grow as a team from this experience. You know, you would hope that they would, but I would be very, very surprised if they made it out because these teams are all super high caliber and super high quality teams as opposed to, you know, in the group stage they were able to tie with Unicorns of Love and make it out of the group stage just barely, right? So I think Pentanet GG fans should kind of hope that their team takes this experience in the right way, you know, and is able to learn and grow from it, and then, you know, potentially in future events come out looking a little bit better. As for the two teams, I didn't talk about too much. Mad Lions and RNG, they both look very, very good right now. I'm expecting them to kind of keep on this roll, but they do have some tricky matchups coming up pretty soon here. Mad Lions plays RNG actually tomorrow, if you're watching this video on Friday, so I would definitely try and watch that matchup if you guys can. Anyways, that is all that we have for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.